Okay, we're at the oyster farm, and we're just going to go through, we're getting on the boat, and we're going to go through the processes of how an oyster goes from seed to market value. What they do is they bring the seeds in from overseas, they put them into nets, they take them out to sea. So boats go out to sea, the nets are out there, you can't really see them with the sun. And then what they do is they come and they bring the oysters in, and then they get pulled up the gantry there. They get sprayed off with a high pressure hose and then sorted, and they kept in the blue tanks, and then they are processed. They sent to the processing plant to be processed and exported. They clean the nets out, they spray them off. They literally just cut the rope that holds them together. These nets were specially designed for oysters so that they could open them up and then clean them out. You can see how much red bait and stuff is in these. It's a very, very funky little bit of red bait there. It's almost like a translucent species. It's a soft shell red bait. You can actually see how the shell is translucent, and the fish know that it's a soft shell, and they actually eat it more than any of the other red baits that are out there. So it's a very sought after red bait. You don't get it on the side very often. So you can see how this red bait fouls up the nets. When this happens, they actually smother the oysters and they end up dying. So you've got all these little soft red bait pods here. You can just tear it open with your fingers. The fish have also got the opportunity to just be able to rip it open. So they know that it's an easy form of food, and they probably spend a lot of time eating it. Oh, look at the iridescent colors on this one. It's got normal suckers that come out, or the teats that squirt the water out, are very, very different color, very, very pretty. Here's a little crab running around. Oh, just missed him. Okay, Garrett's got him. Let's have a look. So these are perfect little baits for cracker. Let's try and focus on here. Cracker and Khalyun love them. It's like popcorn for them. And see, it's just battling to focus here in the light. There we go. These are the sorting rooms here, where they bring the oysters in and they grade them. They send them off to the customers all over the country. So you can see these here have been sorted already into sizes, and then they grade them into different categories. What are the different sizes, Gareth?
We get cocktail, which is what used to be known as a champagne.
Yeah.
We get mostly mediums and larges.
Yeah.
And at the moment we have quite a good season. We're getting quite a lot of extra larges, giant 1, giant 2, giant 3, which overseas they seem to love. South Africans seem to enjoy the cocktails and the mediums more.
Yeah, I think that's probably price related as well. I think the cocktails tend to be a little bit more affordable than the other oysters. And what sort of price would an oyster be retailing at in the shops? What are the guys expecting to pay?
In the shops at the moment, it depends also on your shop. Your higher end shops, you're looking at between 30-35 rand an oyster for medium.
Okay.
And your normal lower end shops that are just trying to move from stock, you're looking at probably about 20-25 bucks.
So they're not a cheap snack.
No, not at all.
We're going to have an opportunity to go through and do a couple of recipes with these oysters. I'm very excited because they are sustainable, they're farmed, and Catch Cook's not all about killing fish. It's also about educating the public and bringing you an interesting and entertaining lifestyle show on catching fish, cooking seafood. It's also behind the scenes education, and this is what it's all about, so we can get to expose these markets to the rest of the country that haven't been exposed to them. We just got back from the oyster farm, and I'm just going to show you how to prepare a tempura oyster with some panko crumb. And what you're going to need is some soda water. I've just made this in the soda stream. You can buy soda water, or you can just use mineral sparkling water. Some Himalayan salt, some paprika, a little bit of sweet chili sauce, some maizena, some flour to dust the oysters in, and then some flour that I'm going to mix with the maizena to make the tempura. Now, tempura batter is traditionally made with half maizena and half flour. The maizena makes it really nice and crispy. It's supposed to be a very light batter, so it's not as thick as a normal traditional fish batter. And then I'm just going to put some paprika and some safari spice and a bit of Himalayan salt just to add a different dimension to it. And then once we've dipped it in the batter, we're going to then dip it into some panko crumb, this Japanese panko crumb, and we're going to deep fry it. I'm going to put a bit of lime juice with the sweet chili sauce just to give it a little bit of a nice sweet sour flavor. And I'm just going to quickly show you how
They come in a box like this from the oyster farm. I've already shelled them for me. And what you need to do is, there's a mussel that sits over here, and you just get your knife. These oysters are still alive, and you just loosen the mussel. Now, if you're going to be eating them raw, what you'd normally do is you'd flip the oyster over and you'd present it like that. That's the presentation side. So I've got some sunflower oil cooking on the side here, and it only takes a few minutes. You just want to, tempura generally doesn't have color on anything that you're going to be cooking as a tempura, but you can make it a slightly brown. Tempura is normally done light and nice and crispy. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to make the tempura batter. So you want a bit of flour. We're just going to put some flour into a bowl, and then I'm going to add a little bit of maizena or cornstarch or corn flour, whatever you want to call it, and sort of a 50-50 ratio. And then I'm going to add a bit of paprika to that, and it's got a nice smokiness to it. Some Himalayan salt, and I'm going to just add a bit of safari spice to that. Just want to add a bit of soda water to that. The soda water must be nice and cold, because the reaction with the cold soda water and the hot oil is what gives you the nice texture when it comes to making tempura batter. You want sort of a reaction of the flour going into the hot oil, and that gives you all these amazing shards. And the flour needs to be really nice and light. It's not a thick batter like a normal traditional fish batter. You want it about the consistency of a pouring custard. And then you just want to dust the oyster in a bit of flour, and then into the tempura batter and into your panko crumb. You want to coat them quite nicely in the panko crumb. Now you can do these in advance and then just place them in the fridge for a bit, and that'll just help the crumb to set and rest on the flour or on the oyster. We're going to just pop these in the oil. Just get yourself a slotted spoon, and you can see the oil's nice and hot. You go straight in. You've got to be quite quick with them, because they're going to colour up very quickly. See how quickly these coloured up, and just pop them in a bit of paper towel just to take off the excess oil. Okay, and just to finish off, what I've done is I've just cleaned out the oyster shells. I'm going to cut a few lemon wedges in a nice little dipping bowl. Get some sweet chili sauce. And then I'm just going to pop some lime juice into that. This is going to break through the sweetness and add the acidity that you need. I'm just going to mix that nicely through. And they're ready to serve. Goes nice with a glass of beer or champagne. And let's give these guys a go. I'm not a fan of oysters myself, but I think this is a different taste altogether. Daniel's really battling there with his oyster. And you don't like it at all. It tastes like fish, Daniel.
Yeah.
Huh? Is it just the thought that it's an oyster?